Welcome back, America. Hans von Spakovsky is an expert on immigration and election law and so many other things, civil rights. He is the senior legal fellow at Advancing American Freedom. Hans, let's go through a few of these things. People always talk about due process, due process. When it comes to immigration and it comes to people here illegally, do they have a right to go in front of a federal judge, or do they go in front of what we call these administrative law judges? And do they have a right to a lawyer paid for by the government, or they have a right to counsel if they can afford it themselves? Do they have a right to all these things the American people have a right to as citizens? And has the Supreme Court said that, no, they have the same due process rights as an American citizen? Can you help sort this out for me?
All these critics of the administration, and frankly, unfortunately, too many federal judges, are ignoring the fact that the Supreme Court has said on multiple occasions that immigration proceedings, they are not criminal proceedings. And the kind of due process rights that a defendant has when you're being criminally prosecuted for murder or assault or something like that, aliens do not have those. That's why when ICE, for example, detains an alien, they don't have to read them their Miranda rights. Yeah, they can have a lawyer in the immigration proceeding before an immigration judge, but the government doesn't have to pay for that. So it's not they're not entitled to, the wrong question is, are they entitled to due process? No. The question is, what kind of process are they due? And that's outlined in federal immigration law, and it's very limited.
And the court has said so over and over and over again, no matter what kind of cases are brought to it, that is the Supreme Court. Let's go through a few of these. You have expedited removal, right? So if somebody has been here illegally for 2 years or less, there's no hearing at all. They can be removed if they're caught. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, and there's a whole list of crimes also, very specific crimes, a whole long list, everything from misdemeanor shoplifting to domestic violence, all kind of other crimes. So if you've been here for a number of years as an alien, that also gives the government the ability for expedited removal, because we don't want criminals in this country.
And we can't possibly handle millions and millions of people through our federal courts.
Right.
The federal courts know that. The Supreme Court knows that. There's never been full due process rights for illegal aliens of the kind that people think about. You're right. The court has said again and again, these are not criminal proceedings.
Right.
If you're here illegally, the question is whether you get to stay or not. That's the only issue. In fact, hasn't Congress recognized this for at least a century? They've created what are not federal judges per se, but the Department of Justice creates what are administrative law judges. They call them judges, immigration judges, and they don't even have to be lawyers.
No, that's correct. The immigration judges are appointed by the Attorney General. And that also means, by the way, that a decision that an immigration judge makes ultimately can be overturned by the Attorney General. And by the way, again, showing you how bad the federal courts are these days, look, there's a specific federal statute that says that no court has jurisdiction over the execution of a removal order. And yet you have judges, federal judges, interfering in removal orders when DHS is trying to deport people out of the country.
We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.